What's up, YouTube? So Maddox and I have been out in the garage for a couple hours. I've been wanting to film this. He bought a brand new downpipe for his turbo back. We're gonna do a turbo back, full exhaust, 3" and up. It's gonna sound great. So we started on today. We've been out here for a couple hours. I didn't want to film the boring part of trying to get that thing out of there. It's a pain in the butt. I can show you what we got now. Right now we've got it in there, mocked up. Surprisingly, 399,000 miles on this car. The O2 sensors came right out. All the bolts came right out. And then what I did was, since we're chopping out the old exhaust and putting in a new one, is I just cut the pipe here, drug it back up out, and then pulled the bolts out outside the car because that's a hard spot to get to. So my plan is to cut this flange off here. I'm gonna weld a bigger pipe onto it. I know it's gonna be kind of a restrictor. It's a little bit smaller, but I don't know where to get another exhaust flange and get one soon. So we'll cut this off, we'll put a bigger pipe on here, and if I have to, I'll hone that out, do what I gotta do. You know, either way, we just deleted the cat off this thing. Here's the old one, which this was a newer catalytic converter downpipe. Looks good inside. So I'm gonna show Maddox how to take that back to the scrapyard, get 50, 60 bucks for it, buy something else for this beast. So right now I've got it mocked in. I've got to cut the flange off that thing. We want it to come down below the bottom of the car. It'll just be sticking down, and then I can cut it and put a piece on, and then I'm gonna have to buy a 3" flex pipe, and then we're off and running to the back. So big thing is right now is getting that flange off, getting a pipe welded to it so we can run that down pipe, get that all bolted back in, get everything up here buttoned back up, and then it's all underneath the car and run a new pipe. And you know, if you've watched my channel before, you know I'm a exhaust pipe hoarder, so I've got pieces everywhere. Everywhere. I love exhaust. I love building custom exhausts. It's my thing. Maddox likes loud cars, so that's what we're doing. Let's get this flange on. All right, so I've got my piece made here. It's tacked on. I've got my second piece coming down, which points to the back, and then at the end of that, we will put our flex pipe. I would have filmed more, but I was sure you guys didn't really want to watch me fail at it 3 times in a row. So now we got it though. So I gotta weld this up, and I'm debating on, I'm probably gonna have to weld the nuts to that, but I don't want to mess up my bolts, so I'm trying to figure out how, ooh, that's warm, how I'm gonna do that. I think I can just get around it with a seal weld and try not to hit that bolt, but as long as I thread those bolts out, we will be okay. Thing is are they gonna come out? That one's gonna hit the pipe. Maybe I'll have to weld this and then grind a little spot out for the nut, or modify the nut, grind a side off of it. So yeah, that's what we're figuring out right now, but we do not want to get this together and never be able to take it out, or do we? I mean, I could always just cut it right there again if I had to take something out, but I'll show you what I come up with because I really don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So I finished up this weld. I want to weld this, but I don't know how it's gonna work around these holes. So what we're doing, and this is a lot smaller pipe compared to this. So you got a lip here, which is in a way gonna be restricting. It's gonna be less restricting without a catalytic converter, but nonetheless, it's smaller than the pipe. You got a reveal there. So I'm coming in, I'm gonna try to bore this out, and what am I using to do that? So what I'm using is this bore bit. Just gonna go around this, like so, and we're gonna take that down. I may not take it down all the way because the thinner that flange, the easier it will be to warp. We don't want that. But we wanna take this down as much as we can, and I want to try to weld it on the inside right there. That will get me out of having to weld around the outside and possibly plugging holes. So I'm gonna do that and try to get this done as soon as possible. It's gonna take forever with this thing. All right, after much time with that bore bit, I got this honed out, same size as the pipe, welded the inside and the outside, so hopefully that can't crack. The cool part is the gasket is already that big as well, so it almost is just meant to be. So we're ready to bolt this back together. I'm gonna stick it up in there, get all this buttoned back up underneath the hood. That way the rest of the work is literally under the car. We just got to, you know, take pipe and plumb it to the back, and this thing should sound mean. I want to get this in here so we can start it, see what it sounds like real quick. All right, that took some doing. eBay down pipe. What'd you pay for that, Maddox?
40 bucks.
40 bucks shipped. It's stainless. Got both O2 sensors in, but we are gonna get a light because there's no catalytic converter there anymore. It went in. Bottom stud is a pain because it hits on the down pipe, so you gotta kind of do that one first, but we got it. I'll show you the bottom where it comes out. We built it to where, boom, it comes out here. Gonna go buy a 2.5 inch flex pipe, put it there, and then we'll build it all the way back through there. You can definitely hear the turbo now. Yeah, she's loud. Let me get this tire back on, get some of this stuff cleaned up. It's getting late today, so we will get that flex pipe from an auto store this week and run this exhaust the rest of the way out. It's gonna come out the back real cool on a side angle, and you're gonna be able to hear this turbo. Let me get this garage cleaned up and we'll start it for you. Yeah. Let's go for a ride. No engine light for that O2 sensor yet. God, listen to that turbo.
Gosh.
We're gonna get the cops called.
Probably.
Man, she's loud.
Yeah.
That turbo's spooling so clean.
Oh my God, this thing's
can't really get into it, dude, because it's freaking loud.
Extremely loud.
People in this neighborhood don't like that type of stuff. We're the only ones. God, that turbo though. I love the way that sounds. If we can quiet down that exhaust a little bit and keep the whistle, which I think I can do with a resonator, a little bit, a little one. It'll tone it up. If we put that, we run a flex pipe and then a resonator, put the resonator right in the center, and then a big pipe all the way back out the back, you'll still have spool sound. God, that sounds good. How's it sound?
Pretty well.
He's happy. He don't even have his license yet, and we're freaking getting this car ready. 399,000 miles. Look at this thing. So, if you haven't seen the videos on this before, we bought this for Maddox for his first car. He purchased the coilovers. He's got max speeding rods on there. $200 shipped. The car was $800. He's got a forge diverter blow-off valve, and then he bought that for $40, and then he just bought the downpipe for $40. So, what, you got 1,080 into the car now, and it's slammed and it makes turbo noises. So the exhaust is louder than it's going to be right now. Once I get a flex pipe, and then I can run either 2.5 or 3 inch. I'm thinking about going from 2.5 inch to the flex pipe up to 3.5, and then shrink it back down in the back. And I think that's gonna make it resonate more. It'll actually sound better. And then maybe a resonator or small muffler, something to tone it up but not kill the whistle. And then we will trim this up here, and we'll bring the pipe out on the side, well, on an angle like a Supra. And this thing's gonna sound mean, and it's gonna be faster. So I didn't film it, but I got the software and the cords and all that. I took the computer out, opened it up, put it in boot mode, and I got the original tune off the tune file off the computer. I sent that out. So that file is now getting tuned by a guy. His channel is called Decimal Tenths. He's a big VW 1.8T guy. He's awesome. Go check out Decimal Tenths channel. He's hooking us up, building us a tune. He's good at that stuff. He's always tuning something on a VW or 1.8T. He's across the pond, so they got different cars, but they still have the same motor. So he's building them things. He put a tune on a GTI, and it actually bent the rods. It had so much torque. So yeah, I can't wait to get that tune back. And then we're looking for wheels. He doesn't know what he wants. When we find the right ones, you know, we'll raise or lower the car to whatever we find. And then if you want to see, come back. We're gonna paint this. We're going to do a budget DIY paint on it. We will use automotive paint and clear. We're gonna go with, I'm thinking some sort of burgundy, like the Chrysler has this fire burgundy stuff. It looks pretty good. We'll sand it down, paint it. We already treated the rust right here. I put, what the heck's that stuff called? I forget. But you put it on the rust, it turns it black, turns it into something entirely different. Will not rust. Did it there and did it here. But these are the only spots on the whole car that have rust. And I'm not kidding you guys, 400,000 miles. The O2 sensors came right out. All the bolts on the exhaust came right out. Everything came apart perfectly. This thing's been loved, man. It was owned by a VW dealer. If you haven't seen the other videos on it, check it out. Get caught up. Stay tuned. We're gonna be making more videos on this, and hopefully we can get this thing crackling and popping and two-stepping. Right? Right. All right, man. See ya.